Welcome to our Getting Started webinar. We will be reviewing the page ladder, how to add fonts, setting up the ReplayIt private photo submission account, and how to transfer material from a 2021 account to the current year. You will be able to find all the information I'm covering in the Memorybook Online Manual under Design and Creation. This webinar will be approximately 20 to 30 minutes long. And I am recording it today, so tomorrow, after that recording's processed, we can send that out and send the links out to everyone so they can listen to it again or distribute it to their yearbook team. Okay, once you have your login information, you're going to go to memoryebooks.com, and here you're going to enter your job number, your username, and your password. And I have this all set up for my browser to remember my passwords. That just makes life a little easier. The forgot password link here, that's going to, when you click on that, if you can't get logged in, it'll give you a link on how to change that password. So you just want to make sure that your current email address is up to date in the customer rep information. Well, look at that. Okay, just a second here. Let's try this again. There we go. That's how it's supposed to work. Okay, so this is our welcome screen here. This is a due date. This is this countdown goes by the date that you've given your customer rep on when you need to get your book to us so we can produce it, and your delivery date. This graph shows you the total pages and how many you have started, how many are in progress, completed, and so on. These are some dates you need to be aware of. This is my book submission date, June 1st. This is my estimated ship date, and then our cover choice. You need to get your cover choice in here if you haven't gotten that done already. And then this graph shows you the tagged images, or how many are tagged. Now, if you're not worrying about tagging your activity images so that you can keep track of how many times a student's in the book, you don't have to worry about this. And this is just kind of an overview of how many images are uploaded and where they are. So let's go to the plan. That's the main area we're going to go over today. When you get here, this is going to be all of your inside pages and how they're going to be laid out in the book. So page 1 is going to be on the side by itself. And so this area over here on the left would be the back side of your cover. And then the last page is the same way. This is going to be on the left-hand side, and this right-hand side would be the back side of your cover. I know it's kind of confusing. A lot of people think that this is actually the cover and the back cover, but this is page 1 on the inside of your book. Over here on the left, we have some status colors. So the status is maybe you're not started a page, so it's going to have a red border, and this little key here will tell you. So my page 6 and 7 is not started. The yellow borders here around the pages means in progress. Green is completed, and black is submitted. So when you're all finished with your book, you're going to have black borders around all these pages, and any of these buttons or options here on the side are going to go away. So that's your ultimate goal, is to get all your pages submitted and get those files to us so we can print your book. This little filter here, you want to, if you wanted to maybe keep track of how maybe your progress is going, if you've assigned people to your to-do pages, if you click on their name, it's just going to show you the pages they have assigned to them. So to see all pages, you want to go to all staff. All page types, if you've chosen to make a few pages black and white, and you've done that here in this area, then that'll show those pages. All page statuses, so I want to see how many pages I have in progress. So these are the only pages that I have in progress. Now, if you'll notice, all the other pages disappeared. A lot of times advisors call us kind of in a panic, or they can't find all their pages, and you need to go here and make sure all of these are in the right, the filter is in the right status. And you can check to see locked and unlocked. Now, when you complete a page, if a staff member completes a page, then it's going to put this little lock icon closed. And you can also lock these pages as an advisor, and then no one else can work on those pages. So if you go down through here and do that, you can use this filter on locked, and it'll show you that. But if you're the advisor, you're the only one that can go in and unlock those pages or return a page once it's completed. So you want to make sure you have all of the you want to make sure you have your advisor login status so that you can have all aspects of the program. You can work on them. Up here in the top toolbar, there's the Save All button. Anytime you make a change down here, you want to go up here to click Save All. In your print, there's a Print All, and you'll do that at the end if you want to save a proof of the whole book. So when you click that, it's going to generate a PDF proof that you can save to your computer, and then you could print the pages out that way. The page ladders, let's say you want to just start getting organized. You can print the page ladder and then take it home and fill it out if you're a person that needs to write things down. And it's also kind of hard to figure out how you want your pages to lay, so you may end up, doing a lot of editing to your page ladder. Here in the actions, there's a check all button. So if you had all your pages with the complete button showing, you could go here and click all, and then in the drop down you could choose complete, and it's going to complete all the pages that you have chosen or that are applicable. You can also do that with submit, and you could also lock or unlock all the pages at once. The page range or display range, you could just choose. If you have a really big book, maybe you just want to look at 10 pages at a time, or generate a PDF of just those 10 pages. This is where you would choose that. Now here in this teal colored toolbar, if you load last year's descriptions and sections, when you click that button, if you went in here and you filled in any of these sections and descriptions down here, let me make my screen just a little bit bigger for you. Here on my page, it says the section's going to be the PTO page or section. So then this is going to be my principal message. So we have a section and then the page description. So if you click this load last year's descriptions and sections, it's going to pop this information in on all of these areas here. But if you didn't do that, of course, there isn't anything to bring forward. Now, if you click on load last year's page designs, it's going to put the templates on all the pages that aren't started yet. And they're going to pop in just like they were last year. And the text boxes and image boxes will be blank, or the text boxes will have that default text, like when you add a text box or something. You don't want to exit out of this unless you know you're not going to use it. Once you click that X there, then this option or menu goes away. Once you've gone in here and you've loaded your sections and descriptions or loaded your page ladder or your page designs, you can always go into the pages and change anything you want. And if you need to change something here, once you've loaded that, let's just call this administration. You can just go in here and highlight the text. For some reason, it's not letting me. I'm going to make this the admin section, and then it's going to be teacher fun. So anytime you make a change here, you're going to save all so that it saves your changes. Up in the right corner is the page mover, and this is where you'll go to actually move pages. Now you want to keep in mind it's always best to try to create your pages in the order that you want your pages to be in. So if you can do that, life would be just easier. So when you go in here to move pages, you'll click and you'll drag your pages and it'll move them and shuffle them accordingly. Now you want to do that before you get any pages completed or submitted because it won't let the pages shuffle correctly. Let's go back to our plan. Okay, so now kind of understand this area. Let's go to the staff area where we can assign staff to have logins. So if you have a yearbook team and you're wanting to create a login for each person that you have on the team, or maybe you have another person you want to help as the advisor or whatnot, this is where you'll go in to create those logins. So you'll click the Add Staff and you'll fill in these fields. Now, if you're using advisor for the username, you'll have to add a number to that or something. So maybe what you'd want to do is be advisor 2 or advisor 3. You're going to choose the password for them. So this is the criteria the password has to meet. And then you'll want to put the email in there so that whenever you need to contact the person, or maybe you're wanting to send an email to the whole team, you'll have the current email in there. And then here on the roles, you have advisor, editor, and staff. And the business manager doesn't work, or we don't use it in our memory book online. But you'll want to check out the different roles and what the privileges are for the roles. So page 155 in the manual will tell you all the privileges that each role has. The staff can't they can't submit pages, they can't delete images, and when you get into the image library, they can't see the inbox ReplayIt. So you'll just need to kind of decide or figure who you want to have what access. You can go in here once you've created these logins, and after they're done working on their pages, you can make them inactive and then they no longer are able to log in. You can also see the progress or what they've done. Oh, this is where you'll go to change their password. So if they've contacted you and said, I can't remember my password, then you can go in here and reset it under the edit button. To view the activity, click on the view, and this is what this person has done in the yearbook. Okay, so let's go back to the page ladder and I'll show you how to assign pages. So here on the staff, underneath our section and description, it says unassigned staff. This is where you go to assign who you want to work on these pages. Let me go down here to one that isn't assigned to anyone yet. So I'm going to click on the unassigned staff and then the little down arrow, and I'm going to choose a person to work on this page. And the same over here. So now when this person logs in, they'll be able to work on these 2 pages or whatever pages are assigned to them. And they won't be able to work on any page unless there isn't any assignment there. So anywhere it says unassigned staff in both spots, that means that anybody can work on those pages. So you may want to go in and create an advisor login for yourself. If you're just assigning a few pages to a particular person, but you want to be able to work on the rest of them, you could go in and assign yourself to these pages. So once you've done the assigning, you want to go up here to Save All, and that's going to save your changes that you just made. So the next area I want to cover is the font section. Now there's only just a couple of fonts that are automatically uploaded when the program's created. So if you want to get all artsy and have it lot of different choices for your fonts. You'll want to go in and add some. You can see all of the fonts that we offer on page 223 in the manual. That might make it easier to go in and see what its type is and where you can find it. But to add a font and to view a font, you click on the font and it's going to put a preview over here. And if you like it, you can just click the active button right here and it'll turn purple. And that means that it's going to be showing up in the list when you're on the pages in the design section. It'll be one of your choices that you can make for your font. A new feature they added last year is styles. And this is, if you wanted to add a style, these are some styles I've created already. You can add style, and you say you want your headlines to look like this. I'm going to just name it Arizona Headline. I believe that's the font I just added. And it's going to be a headline category. So I'm going to choose Arizona here in the font, and I'm going to make it pretty big. I'm going to make it 48 when I drag it over to a page. And italic is what it comes in, so I'm going to save that. So now whenever I go to a page, I'll be able to choose that style and drag it over, and it'll be that same size that I've chosen on each page when I drag it over. So that's just kind of a little bit easier. You could make this, you could add small ones for like subheading, captions to your pictures and whatnot. So you can create a style here and it'll be available in your page section. Okay, the next area I want to go over is the ReplayIt private photo submission. So the ReplayIt is actually just a separate website that you can give the link out to your team or other teachers or other parents, and they can access it and they'll be able to upload images to the program. They won't be able to see any other images or work on any pages. They'll just be able to submit photos. So you'll want to go down through here if you want to activate it, and you'll click the little check mark here. Do you want to have a website for parents and others to upload? Click that, and you want to start and a stop date. Now your start date, you want to keep in mind, if you set that for Monday the 17th, if you want to test it, you won't be able to go in and test it because it's won't be turned on or active until the 17th. Now your ending date, you want to keep that maybe a couple of weeks to a month before your book is submitted so that you have a chance to go through all the pictures that get submitted and you don't have any last minute pictures that you really liked and you wanted to use in the book instead. You don't need to change this amount of images here. Do you want to enable the site? You click the little box and then it's going to click save, and it's going to pop this link up here, and this is the link that you're going to want to copy and paste to send to your team. Now it will let you copy it there by itself. You don't want to put this on Facebook, or if you do, it seems to alter how the link works, and it isn't accessible through Facebook that way. So you'll want to send this out in an email or a Word document, something printed where they can go in and they can type all those in there. So once you do that and you've set that up, you'll be able to find your images here in the image library. And they're going to be here in the inbox ReplayIt. Now the staff login, they won't be able to see this area. So if you want them to help you sort the pictures, because they all just land in here in it's just one big folder, you would need to actually create a folder down here under activity and move all of those images down into it. So I've just named this one my image share, and that way I move them down in there. I'll just select all of these. You click and you drag them down into the current folder. And then my team can help me sort these then because they can see them and access them. In the pages section where you're designing your picture pages, you won't be able to see this folder if you're logged in as a staff. Okay, while we're here, I want to show you how to move images forward from last year. So if you have a school picture or a mascot or something like that that you use every year, you can log in to last year's book and you'll click on the folder, and then you're going to click on this button here. It says 2022 in last year's book. So when you click on that button, it's going to put an arrow, and that means that it's moving forward to the current year. So if you're going to do that every year, you just may make it a habit to go ahead and click on that mascot folder or whatever you have it called and click move forward. So now when you log into this year's book, you're going to find that folder under My 2021 Images. And these are some folders that I've moved forward from last year. So once again, to use these images, you need to come in here and you'll click and drag them down into a current folder. And I think I did this the other day. So to access any of these 2021 images, they have to be in one of these folders. So, and this is also handy. You can do this with the portraits. So if you have staff pictures and you don't have a maybe you don't have a picture this year of a certain teacher, you can go back to last year's book and click that 2022 button, and then they'll show up here in My 21 Images, and then you can put them up in the portrait section in the staff folder. And you'll have to tag it again though. Okay, and then if you have templates that you want to use from last year, you'll go here to the design area, and any of your templates that you saved last year as templates, you'll find them in My 2021 Templates. So these are some templates that I saved from last year. And you see how the text boxes and image boxes have gone back. Some of them have gone back to that default text, but all the image boxes are empty. So if you have maybe a baby page or a graduating class where you have a big picture with a small picture and you like the way that template is, you can go into last year's book and save it as a template. And then when you come in here to your My 2021 templates, you'll have it there in the list and you can use it, and you can just update the background and add your pictures as needed. I also want to remind everybody that you need to get your class photos on CDs sent in, or the link. You need to get it sent in so that we can get those uploaded for you and you can get them on your pages. There really isn't a set deadline for that. You just need to be sure to have time for you to work on them and to get them flowed over onto pages. So do I have any questions? If you have a question, you can type it in the chat bar and I'll be happy to answer. Okay. Can you show how to flow images? Okay, I can go over that really quick here. We will have another webinar in another couple of weeks, so you choose a folder here. Most of them are flowed already. Okay, so you'll be here in the page designer, and you can go over here to the flow tab. First, you want to go in and make sure all your images are organized. So you'll want to make sure all the kids are in the right folders and all their names are spelled correctly. So I'm going to drag one of these over to the page, and you're going to adjust your flow panel to accommodate everybody. Okay, once you get your flow panel over here, you're going to save it. You choose the folder you want to flow. I'm going to flow this staff. I want them to flow on page 8 and page 9, so I'm starting and stopping. And I click flow, and they're going to flow over onto the page, and all the empty boxes will go away. And that was just a real quick, brief instruction there. So if you wanted it more specific, just give us a call and we'll be happy to walk you through that. Okay, I joined late and I was needing help logging in. Taking over from another teacher from last year. Okay, so you may need to have the new login information for this year, because each year the job number, we try to keep it the same, but your password is always different. So you'll need to make sure and visit with your customer rep and get your current login information. But to log in, the initial login, you'll want to go to memoryebooks.com. Okay, the website freezes on me a lot. Any suggestions why it's doing that? You'll, of course, need to use Google Chrome. And then if you have kind of spotty internet, it's going to cause you problems when you're uploading images too. Sometimes if the files are large, your internet needs to be really strong so that you can upload your images. Sometimes it'll conk out on you. And it is not functionable in Microsoft Edge. See, are there any other questions? Okay. Is there a way to save a page as a PDF? Yes. If you go here to your page designer, when you click on this preview page, let me make my screen larger. It's this little printer icon. And when you hold your mouse over it, it says preview page. Then it's going to generate a PDF of the page. And you can print from this, or you can download it and save it and then print it once you've saved it on your computer. Sometimes printers are persnickety and you can't print from the program. But that's how you are also going to have to do this. You're going to have to check a PDF before you're able to submit your pages. Okay, the other question, when do you crop an image? And ReplayIt or placing it? So ideally, if you're using a portrait page, you'd want to try to crop it and make it as close to the same size as the others. But if you can't, you can always, once you float it, you can double click on the flow panel and click the little crop icon, and then you can resize the image inside the box. So now if you'll notice, it's not letting me make it any larger than this. It's because the resolution on that picture is, I'm only allowed to make it as big as the resolution is. So if it's a low resolution image, you're not going to be able to make it very big, because the program's designed so that if it's low resolution, it won't make it any more blurry. But that basically works the same on your candid pages. When you drag a picture over to the page and you want to crop it. So if you wanted to zoom in on this face, you would do that, and then you can click on it and move it around as needed. Okay, I hope that answered that question. Okay, it looks like that's the extent of our questions, so I'm going to call it good. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. I hope this webinar has helped to make the getting started process not feel so overwhelming. Please join us next week for Working with Portraits. We will be showing you how to organize your class portraits so you can use the auto flow function to build class pages. Have a nice day.